All right, on today's podcast, we're going to be answering the most common questions about Light Up Princeton, such as location, dates, times, and special nights. Whether you're decking the halls, baking cookies, or just waiting for that perfect moment to snap that Instagram pic, we're here to let you know all about things Light Up Princeton. From twinkling trees to lights dancing to music, we're shining the spotlight on all things bright and merry. So grab your cocoa, throw on that ugly sweater, and join us for a sparkling conversation about Princeton's holiday display that will leave you feeling lit. In the best way possible. Ready? Let's glow.
Welcome to the Princeton Podcast, where we talk about upcoming events, news, and local businesses. This is Princeton. Play here, stay here.
That was a...
Let's glow. I love it.
Intro right there.
That was I don't know if I took a breath.
I don't know. Yeah. Are the listeners okay? Like, that was a lot.
Yes, it was.
They're excited is what's happening.
It's so excited. And I'm a little disappointed in myself that I said bright and merry instead of merry and bright. I forgot to switch that
Yeah,
up.
that's all right.
It's all right.
Merry and bright.
No, I think this is a good podcast today. We get to answer a bunch of questions that I know people have, and there's also big news with Light Up Princeton. Kim, you've been working extremely hard, and you're not the only one putting together this awesome show. So we have a ton of questions for you, and we want to learn more about This is Princeton and or Light Up Princeton. Yeah. So first question I have is you're moving locations.
Yeah. This is actually our 5th year.
Big time.
Yeah,
locations.
this is huge because as I know, as long as I've known, it's always been down by the river.
Yep, Riverside Park.
Yep.
Down by the river.
And cool location, but I know it's got to be difficult sometimes to manage everything down there. So, but yeah, talk to us. Why the new location?
Well, I'll just give you a little background on Light Up Princeton. It started in 2020 during COVID, during the kind of the big part of it where everybody was locked down and couldn't do anything. We couldn't really be together. And I was working with somebody from the city of Princeton, thinking about what could we do that people could come out and still not be, around other people in a way. And we thought, it would be cool to start a light display. So that's how that all started back in 2020. So this is our 5th year. Like you said, we've always been down at Riverside Park. It was a great location, and the reason that we chose it is because there's a campground down there, and so in each camp spot there is electricity. There's an electric box, so it's a great place, and it's a circle, that you can drive around, and it was just perfect. But it just turned out to be a hit, and it has grown and grown every year, and we got to the point where we couldn't grow anymore. It's just it was going to be what it is at that point.
Quick question. When you're saying growing, like what is just give me an estimate of how many people you would have and the time frame of it being open. How many people do you think have gone through?
I think last year we estimated about 10,000 people. Because we do keep a count of cars that come through every night. So then we have to kind of try to figure out how many people, are average in the car.
And I suppose people go through more than once.
Yep.
But very rarely is there one person in the car.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless they're having a rough day,
Yes.
right? Like, I mean.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah.
They just want to get that mint.
Most
But I think
people have a family or
Right.
want to bring their kids. So usually 2 adults and some child.
Right. And a lot of people would come through, almost every night it was open, and it was a reward for their kids. And they'd say, if they, had a good day or whatever it might be, we'll go through the lights. And it doesn't, it's just a kind of a quick, quick run through
about that.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. 10,000 people. That's a lot.
That's a lot of people. And the one thing that we have been worried about moving is that Highway 95 gives it such a great view of the lights, and people would stop and say, I was driving through and I saw something going on down here, so I came through. But we've checked out at the fairgrounds, and you can see from 169 in the winter when there's not leaves on the trees that you can see the whole fairgrounds pretty well. So they'll be able to see from there too.
Oh, I think it's going to be so cool with all the trees and
Yep.
And I know that you're going to talk about that, but
Yeah.
I think it's going to be lit from 169.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool. And another reason that it's a good move, I think, for us is that driving into Riverside Park is a big hill. And we had some instances over the few years where people had to take a running start on their cars to get up that hill. And so that was just, that's not good. And so this is just like a nice, flat, even entrance into the park. And then the other thing this is one of my favorite parts about it is that we can lock the gates of the fairground. We have had a little vandalism, nothing major, but something every year has happened.
Of course, right?
So,
somebody's got to do something.
Something. So now we can lock it up. And 2 years ago when we got all that snow, we couldn't get Light Up Princeton out in January because there was so much snow and it was so frozen. So we had to wait till April. We actually had a contest on Facebook. When do you think it's like an ice out?
Right.
When do you think Light Up Princeton's going to be taken out? And we literally had to run from the river as it was flooding the park. So
Well, last year.
that was the year before. Last year we got it out. There was no snow, so we got it out immediately.
Oh, okay.
It was
I
the year
am
before.
thinking, yes.
Yep. So
That-
now we don't have to deal with that either.
That was such a hilarious memory, though.
Yeah.
Like, nobody believes you unless you're part of it.
Right.
Like, honestly, the river was coming after us.
Yes, it was chasing us.
At the very end of it, one of the city workers pulls up a fish that was just down by his boot, and he's like, "Well, here's a fish, way over like by Pizza Pub area."
In the park because
He
it had
lifts-
flooded. And we were running stuff up the hills
Just
and
throwing it, trying to get it on high ground.
Yeah,
Sounds like chaos.
it was.
And it was Bob Gerald. He called you and said, "We need to get down there now."
Get your volunteers and get down to the park.
What? Like,
Yeah.
it's fine.
So no new location was at the Riverside Park. Now we're going to the fairgrounds. Awesome benefits, great exposure too off of 169. I would expect it to grow even more, maybe even faster now too, with the amount of traffic and visibility from the highway.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's a little safer too.
It
Just
is.
like having the flat ground and an area that people are actually. I feel like that they're both familiar with it, right? But like I feel like the fairgrounds has got just a better, I don't know what area or
Yeah.
commons or parking or
Easier
just
to
like
drive through too.
It is.
Drive to-
The area that we're in is just a big open area. So we made it as big as we wanted it this year.
Yep.
One thing about the lights is that lights are and displays are extremely expensive, and we are proud to say that we give 95% or 75% of the proceeds back to the community, to nonprofit groups every year, but that means that we don't have a ton to work with every year. So we are just growing it. It grows slowly, but
Yep.
there'll be something new every year,
Yeah.
hopefully.
I
So-
know. Go
You
ahead.
go.
I go.
Jinx.
Rock paper scissors. No. Okay. I know a lot of people have questions too that haven't been there before. Is this a paid deal? Is this free, or what does this look like?
It's
Can
free.
I bring my family?
Yep, completely free. We ask for a free will donation, or a donation to the pantry, like a non-perishable item. We collect food for the pantry, and if you don't have either, you don't have either. You go through. So, but we are really proud of the community is very giving, and we're really grateful for that because, like I said, it goes back to our nonprofits, it goes back to Light Up Princeton, and it goes back to the pantry. So we really appreciate that when people bring.
Which is super important right now because the last podcast we did the topic was about the food pantry here in Princeton, and they're in need
They are in need
right now. So
And when do you guys open? And like, what's the time frame? Because I know it's more than 2 weeks. It's more than 3 weeks. It's like, what is it again?
So we open on November 30th. So that's a Saturday after Thanksgiving. The November 30th is Small Business Saturday. So during the day, we'll be promoting shopping local and doing things around town. And then at 5:30 is the Light Up Princeton Parade. That'll go from City Hall down 3rd Street North all the way to the fairgrounds. And then,
so that is another thing that we need to note.
yes, that's
Is
another
the parade
change.
route is different.
Yep, because we'll be heading the other direction now.
Okay.
And then that night, that opening night, once Santa arrives, he'll be the last one in the parade. Once he arrives, he will flip a big switch to turn Light Up Princeton on, and so people can be in there and watch the lights go on. There'll be a place to park if you want to watch the lights go on and get pictures with Santa from 6 to 7.
Exciting.
And then you can get back in line and go through Light Up Princeton. So we just want to emphasize that it's still a drive-through. Light Up Princeton still remains a drive-through, but there will be, just really be patient and follow the signs and directions of the volunteers when you get there on these nights that we have parking.
Because they will be able to get out and take a photo, is what you're saying.
Well, with Santa at the very
Yep.
beginning. Yep, and watch the lights go on. Yep. So Light Up Princeton runs on from November 30th until December 22nd, Thursdays through Sundays. So that's why it's through December 22nd, because that's a Sunday. We're also open on Christmas Eve, which is a Tuesday, I think. So November 30th through December 22nd and December 24th at 6 to 9 p.m.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Plenty
know
of-
that you and Chad, you and your husband are the ones who usually volunteer on Christmas Eve.
Yep,
and
our family
it's
usually does
very-
Christmas Eve. Yep.
We're very thankful for that because, at first, the first year you guys did that, we were thinking, like, there's not going to be very many
Right.
people because there's church services and family gatherings, but it was really popular
Very.
for people to go
You
through
could tell
after
when-
church
yep.
or whatever it is.
That's
just to get in
exactly
the
what it
spirit.
was. Yep.
Yeah.
It was, you could tell when the church services would let out and we'd get a huge line of cars coming through.
I
and
mean,
then-
that's
yeah.
what it's all about.
Yep.
So that's
And last
awesome.
year
So
was.
thank you guys for doing that.
Yeah. And I know that, like at Christ Our Light, Father Kevin announced it, that, that we'd be open down there because we wanted to let them know why we were sneaking out early. To get down there. So, yeah. So make sure that you come through after church on Christmas Eve too, because we'll be there.
So talk about, Kim, so when it was down at the river, at Riverside Park, many trees, many big trees, and the displays, even with the hills, you were able to use
Right.
like the skating rink or a slide going down or, the big chair, whatever it was. And now it's going to look different.
It will.
So what did you guys do to not lose that?
Yeah, we the trees. There's only a few that we can even use to decorate in that area. It's just like open field. So what we did is we are bringing in 35 balsam firs. Jeff Meyer is going. I think they've been cut. We're getting them on Friday. They're being delivered, and then businesses and organizations have sponsored the trees, and they're going to decorate each one of those to represent their business or organization. So we're calling it Christmas Tree Row, and there'll just be lots of trees, like kind of like a little mini forest of trees, real trees, that is going to be through Light Up Princeton this year, which will be different.
I
and
cannot
really
wait for
cool.
that.
It's going to be neat.
It is, but that's the area where people are going to say, "Oh, we just want to get out and
It is.
look."
I know.
But
Yeah.
you got to keep going.
That's
Yeah,
sweet.
Yeah, we do it. And who knows? Maybe someday we will do a walkthrough. What was really nice is on those days that it's just brutally cold. It's nice to stay in your car,
Yep.
frankly.
Yep.
And go through slowly. And that's the other thing that we encourage: go through slowly.
Yep.
And just
turn
really
your-
enjoy it.
Your music dial to a
Yep.
certain station,
Yep.
and then the music plays with the lights.
Yep.
Or the lights play with the music, I
Yes.
should say.
Yep.
Which is super cool, too.
Yep. So that's a really fun addition.
With the cold weather too, I know we've offered hot cocoa in the past, correct?
No.
Or is this new?
It's no, we've never offered hot cocoa. No.
Okay. Maybe it was my idea.
It must have been. Yeah. You wish you had hot cocoa. Yeah.
I think it was at some point I was like, dude, it's freezing. We need hot cocoa
Yeah.
because my hands are literally falling off.
Yeah.
I remember
So-
standing out there and
Yeah, so we have a hot chocolate hut this year. Minco Credit Union is sponsoring that. And so we will have volunteer groups again working in there. They will get 50% of the proceeds. And it'll just be on the driver's side as you drive right when you drive into the main gate. And we'll have volunteers that will just walk down the line to the cars and be like,
Oh,
we've
that's how
got
it's
how
gonna
many,
Get your hot cocoa. Get
Yeah.
your cocoa.
Anybody want hot cocoa? Whatever it is. However,
Hot cocoa hit?
And then they have a
Yes.
nice hot
Like
chocolate.
at football games.
Yeah, like at football
There.
games. Yep. So hot cocoa as you're driving through, and for everybody. So that'll
Okay,
be
that's
really nice.
awesome.
Yeah, we're excited about.
I was trying to
that.
vision how that. I was like, the hot cocoa hut. I didn't understand how that, because I thought people are going to have to get out, then
Yep.
they're going to want to stay out, and it's going to slow things down. But
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and we're going to have the volunteers sort of work the line so that people can still just keep coming through. Yeah. So
Cool.
Do you want to talk on the photo op spot?
yeah, so the route within the fairgrounds is you're coming in the main gate on the east side, of the park, the main gate, and then you're going to kind of go left and turn right kind of out into the field, and then you're going to come around and go back out on the west side, but on the south gate. So it's on that gate on the same side as the main gate, but on the south side of the park. There, down on that end, there's a little pavilion. It's a new pavilion. It's a Boy Scout pavilion. And so right before you leave, you'll have an opportunity, if you want, you don't have to, where you can pull into a little parking corral that we've created. And you can get out and get a picture with the tiger. You can get a picture with the duck We have a little blow-up dock that we have there. And then we have the stage will be decorated, and you can get some photo ops with your family.
Cool.
And then are we able to pick up some of the tigers and the hats for sale?
Yes, while you're there, that's another new thing this year. We're going to be selling Light Up Princeton stuffed animal tigers and Light Up Princeton winter hats.
And that's
so
right at the photo op?
that'll
All
be
in
right
the same
there.
spot?
Yep. So when
Okay.
you get out of the car there to get your pictures, you can also grab a tiger or a hat.
Do you want people to bring cash for that, or are you taking cards?
Cash or Venmo.
Either. Okay.
Yep, cash or Venmo.
Okay.
So that is a new addition. We're going to see how it works. We've never
Yeah.
done anything
Yeah.
like that before, so we'll just see what happens.
And the money will be going back to the
For the tigers and the hats, the money will be going back to Light at Princeton so that we
Perfect.
can continue
To
to
continue
grow
to
it.
grow.
And speaking of lights, I want to give a shout out to Brand Manufacturing. They created 4 displays for us this year, and you'll see those as you drive through this year. But what they did is created these huge 8x8 displays they're like big steel, I don't know, they're like big steel 8x8 squares with like grids in the middle. And then we had volunteers create the design in the middle with rope lights. And they're going to be
What NHS was doing?
Yes.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's going to be the branches of the military. So we'll have 4 displays of that. And so NHS has done one of the displays. They finished the Air Force. Edward Jones, Amber Endicott's office is doing the Marines, and First Bank and Trust is doing the Navy and
Oh my
the
gosh,
Army.
this is so cool. There's
So-
so much new.
So many new things. And then Glenn Metalcraft is creating a big similar display in steel, or like that, but it's going to be Light Up Princeton. And so we'll have volunteers that will spell that out in rope lights as well. So we have some really fun new displays. And again, like I mentioned, those light displays, if we were to purchase something like that, like if we were to purchase the Air Force display that was just created, that would be several $1,000s, I'm quite sure.
Yeah.
So to be able to have companies in the community, and we also have several sponsors that have helped out that we're really appreciative of, because it's just, and many people have given us lights. It's just a real community effort.
It
which
is. I
cool.
mean, businesses are stepping up. Volunteer organizations are stepping up. What can we do to help? Because you've just made this such a wonderful thing for the community that people look forward to it every single year.
Yeah.
What do you need? How can we
Yep.
help? Mm-hmm. But it's just super cool to see these businesses just, here you go.
Yeah.
What do you need?
And even like
Will
the Portines, Dave and Annie Portine, I had put a call out for a cart that I had seen at a light display in La Crosse, and it basically is, it operates sort of like a wheelbarrow, except for it's 2 wheels, and it's a big cart with like PVC pipe coming up, so you can hang lights and hang cords on it. And we used it a couple days ago as we were hooking up cords, and it was the best thing ever.
But tell them, okay, so you put it out on Facebook.
Put it out on Facebook, and Dave and Annie Portine got a hold of me and said, we'll build that this weekend.
This weekend.
And then in one weekend, they built it, got a hold of me, what color do you want it? I mean, it was incredible.
Can you share their phone number with me?
Yeah, I know. And so, a huge shout out to them as well. It's amazing.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yep.
So, real quick, could I have you run through some special nights, kind of speedy, and
Yeah.
just name drop some awesome nights that people should take note of?
Yep. So opening night, of course, there'll be photos with Santa from 6 to 7, and also the Princeton High School Tri-M carolers are going to be there, so they'll be singing their hearts out as people are driving through, which will be
so
awesome.
good.
And then we have on December 5th, we have early childhood education night, so there'll be people down there from early childhood, and they're having an event before that, and then encouraging everyone to come down. December 20th, a special green visitor might be popping around in photos and whatnot, trying to steal Christmas. So we watch for him running around. December 21st, super excited about this. We're doing carriage rides through Light Up Princeton. Those are going to be $20 a ride. They can get quite a few people in one ride. And that night, the Tri-M carolers are going to be performing. And so that will be another thing. We have to kind of follow signs, listen to the volunteers on where to park and where to go in. And there is going to be no reservations. That's going to be get in line, first come, first serve type of thing. And I've already decided it's going to be a magical night with light snow falling from the sky,
Oh,
not too
perfect.
cold. So,
And everybody needs to have some patience.
yeah, and just have some patience.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's going to be fun.
Like carriage rides with like horses.
Yes, horse-drawn carriage rides.
Nice.
So if it's snow, it'll be, I think, more of
It'll
a
be
sleigh.
magic.
And
This is like a Hallmark movie.
it's going to be a Hallmark movie.
With the hot cocoa.
Yep. Mm-hmm. It's going to be cool.
Listen up, guys. This is an opportunity.
Yep. It's going to be fun. Yep. We added a lot this year, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
I cannot wait till it's all
like you
all
said,
comes
just
together.
have some patience with us. And Yep.
Yeah, because the line might, hopefully,
Yeah.
will be long.
Yep.
Well, cool. Is there anything else that you think people would have any questions on, or anything else that you want to mention about?
No, I would just say, come on out and go through as many times as you want. We'd love if you could give to the pantry and to the organizations that are there working out in the cold. Whatever you can give is appreciated. So,
And it's drive-through. That's probably the
Drive-through.
biggest question.
it's drive-through. Yep, it's a drive-through with an opportunity to get out at the end
Yep.
for a quick photo if
Yep.
you want one. But again, it's not like a, humongous parking lot. It's a little parking area that we created. So, you'll just have to be patient there too.
Right.
Which is kind of fun for families too. Like you said, they're using it as an incentive where
Yeah.
you can load the kids up in the car in their pajamas.
Exactly, and drive on through.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then home
We've
to
seen
bed.
people come through with pizza in the car and, all kinds of things. So it's fun. Yeah, we're excited about it.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I don't think so. I cannot.
Till next time.
Yeah.
Till next time, this is Kim, Zach, and Mary signing off. This is Princeton.
Stay here.
Play here.
Woohoo.